the spires of familiar churches, Episcopal, Baptist, and the Congregational, where she had gone until she moved away. The omnipresent smokestack of the Knox woolen mill that supported most of the town, and where she'd probably still be working today if Mother had had her way. Somewhere out there the morning shift was heading toward the mill, probably to turn out wool for the uniforms of the boys over there. Other workers were heading to the lime kilns in Rockport. Grace had written that Camden had a trolley line now, and that the men traveled to Rockport on it. Some of those men Roberta knew, she supposed, or had known when they were classmates in school. Some of their wives, too. What would they think of her now, returning as a divorced woman? Probably the same thing Mother did. What a disappointment Mother had been, her letters outspoken and bold. No decent woman sunders a marriage, Roberta. Surely you realize that? To hell with them all, she thought. Let them think what they will. If women could go to the battlefront as nurses, they could divorce as well. Mother would not have come down to the wharf this early. Her lumbago or some other convenient complaint would be keeping her in bed. But Roberta's sister Grace would be waiting when the steamer landed, along with Grace's husband, Alfred, whom Roberta remembered only vaguely. The lights of the little seaside village poked through the blur, and she returned to her children. "Rebecca, Susan, wake up." She shook each of them, then went to the bench to tip Lydia upright. "We're almost there." She sat down and tucked her youngest beneath an arm. "We're just entering Camden Harbor. How are you feeling?" "Terrible." At the table, 16-year-old Rebecca dragged herself vertical. A yawn and a stretch distorted her voice. "Is Lydia still sick?" "No dog has ever been sicker," Lydia herself replied. Roberta slicked a hand down Lydia's ragged braid. "Not for long. She'll feel better once we're on dry land." "I never want to ride on this barnacle breeder again." Lydia's head fell to the hollow of her mother's shoulder. "You shouldn't have to. This time we're staying. The house is bought, and the job is mine, and nothing short of a hurricane will force us to move again. Agreed?" Nobody answered. Roberta appealed to the pair at the table, but they were slump-shouldered yet from sleep, their enthusiasm sapped by the long night at sea. "Girls, come here." She gestured the two older ones over. They rose with limp resignation and sat down at her right, her 14-year-old Susan resting against her mother's arm, while Roberta spoke to all three. "Listen, all of you. I'm sorry I couldn't rent a stateroom. I know it's been an awful ride, but we need every penny for the house and to get started here. You understand, don't you?" "It's all right, Mother," Rebecca reassured. Becky never complained about anything. Instead, when the younger ones did, she chastised them. Lydia tried it now, with a slight whine in her voice. "But I wanted to see the staterooms. The brochure said they have private bunks and real brass washbowls." "Mother's doing the best she can," Rebecca chided. "And besides, what difference does it make if you puke in a brass sink or that galvanized bucket? Puke is puke." "Mother, make her stop." That was Susan, becoming lucid. "Enough, Becky. Now listen," Roberta said to all three. "Straighten your skirts, fix your hair, and gather up your things, because we'll be at the landing soon. Feel that, Liddy? It's getting smoother. That means we're getting close." They stood, shook their skirts down, and buttoned their coats, but little repair was done on hair, and their mother neither badgered nor reminded them again. When the first blast of the steam whistle shuddered the floorboards, they looked as unkempt as if they had never touched combs or irons. The knock of the engine slowed, and they braced their feet wide. "Make sure you've got everything," Roberta said, "especially your umbrellas, and let's go forward." They gathered up their belongings and moved to the part of the lounge giving onto a companionway that emptied onto the first-floor deck. Here the windows were more generous, and other passengers already crowded, peering out, waiting to disembark. The girls stretched their necks to see above the heads in front of them. "That's the Baptist church tower, see? And the smokestack from the mill."